Hello, mis amores. I'm sorry you missed me. I didn't go anywhere, but I'm sure you've missed me, right? I missed you too. Today, we're girls and we're scouting. I don't know what I'm scouting for, except when I'm using one specific gun in Apex Legends. Ahaha. As far as I know, it's Girl Scout season I don't know if it's called season, in the United States. And the different kind of cookies always intrigued me. Nothing about being a scout sounds remotely interesting to me, except playing with rope. But only, and you guys know this, to create outfits with it because I like the material and what you can do with it. So really, kind of nothing about being a scout sounds intriguing to me. Well, except in this case, the cookie part. So you might wonder, why did you even come up with this video idea? First of all, I cook and bake a lot on this channel, duh. But also, well, there's this one podcast I listen to, and it really only is one podcast that I listen to. No other podcast that has ever been interesting to me. If I listen to podcasts, then when do I listen to music? And that is the One Tree Hill rewatch podcast. And they did a little Q&A episode, and one of the questions was, which one is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? And that got me wondering which one would be mine. I then just looked up the most popular ones, and obviously I'm gonna go top to bottom. Now that I'm saying this, I feel like I should have gone with the least popular ones and made those and see why they're not liked as much as the most popular ones. But also, I think some of them are more regional, so maybe they're not as popular as ones that you can find all over the United States. But yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, I don't know anything about Girl Scouts and what they're selling their cookies for and stuff. I just really like the idea how they sell these specific type of cookies. I don't know. It just sounds cute to me. So yeah, we're gonna go with the top 3 most popular Girl Scout cookies. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. The first dough will have to rest in the fridge for 1 hour, so let's get started. The first one is a number 3 in the popularity contest. Yeah, honestly, this one kind of had to be there. I don't know, if I think of American cookies, actually I just think of like sugar cookies with a sugar frosting. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, we're gonna make a peanut butter cookie, basically. They're called Tagalong cookies. Do you like them? Basically, we have a cookie, a peanut butter cream on top, and then it's all covered in chocolate. Simple, good. Oh no. Maybe boring because I'm falling asleep. It really is a very basic sugar cookie. It's already full of flour because you need 2 cups or 1 cup in my case, or 120 grams in my case of all-purpose flour. I've also added 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I've added 1/8. I'm saying the normal, not mine. So if it looks like less, then it probably is. 100 grams of sugar, 230 grams of flour, yeah. 2.5 tablespoons of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we need a large bowl. Cream together the butter and the sugar until light and smooth. Smooth. Fantastic. You've done well so far. Flour, baking powder, and salt. And then I'm just gonna slowly add the flour and baking powder. Great job, I say to myself. Then add in the milk and vanilla. This will help to bring the dough together a bit more. The dough may look crumbly at first, but should come together nicely after a minute or so. It never really looked crumbly, did it? Which for me means maybe I'm not gonna even add the milk if it's just to combine it. That's our dough. We can taste it to see if we need more vanilla. I don't get any vanilla. Clearly, this is a very sticky dough. That's why the recipe actually suggests to put it on parchment paper and then another parchment paper on top and then roll it out. 1/8 of an inch is 3 millimeters. This is 3 millimeter, hopefully. Transfer it into the fridge for 1 hour. Let's make the peanut butter layer. You're gonna need 200, 3, 5, 60. And also 250 grams of smooth peanut butter, 30 grams of confectioners. Why am I showing you here when I've got my shitty ass other camera? Canon, sponsor me. I'm sure you do sponsorships. 250 grams of peanut butter, 30 grams of confectioners sugar, powdered sugar or whatever, 14 grams of butter, and we're just gonna combine it. That's such a waste of precious peanut butter. Is this not just gonna be super sweet now? We'll also place this in the fridge until we need it. Guys, I'm completely sweaty from waiting for the dough to be chilled. No, I've made something for the second recipe already, and like, we can now finally continue. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit and get yourself a 3 to 3.5 inch wide cookie cutter, round circular cookie cutter. I'm using this glass. Should be at least 7.6 centimeters. I did not think they were gonna be that big, but okay. Okay. Well, our dough is very hard now. That's gonna make cutting it
easier, hopefully.
Why is it getting soft again? How do I get them off? Why is it so soft again? It was just quite hard. Well, fuck this dough. Maybe I'm just gonna have 12 cookies because there's no way I can move them. If in the end I've got circles, then I guess that's all I can hope for at this point. What's going on? No! Editing this video, I will probably find out what I've done wrong. But right now, I'm in a state of mind I want to be in like all the time. Actually, really never again. Please. About 2 inches apart. They're not 2 inches apart, guys. We're not off to a great start. 10 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. Guys, I'm so embarrassed. I just wish I knew what went wrong at least. I think that would save me a lot of time at therapy if I at least knew the cause. This is what we're working with. They haven't even been in there for 8 minutes, by the way, and they kind of burned. To mend my broken heart, I have at least tried the remaining pieces. Oh my god, it's so brittle. It tastes good, like a normal sugar cookie, so I really don't understand. We're just gonna keep going. These are gonna have to go into the freezer for at least 2 hours. I think that's enough. We don't have that many cookies anyway. An even layer. I just feel like the piping bag is unnecessary. I always loved making cookies. What happened? I don't want to touch them too much to get it smooth, honestly. Oh no, this one broke. Oh my god, also broken. Just like me, myself. My heart, everything. Let's try and freeze them for at least 2 hours. Guys, let's finish off these tagalongs as strong as we've started. We're gonna have to completely cover them with chocolate. All I can say is this better work, bitch. But like, they're completely solid. This has to work. Okay, I think we've got enough cookies. We're gonna let them set, and then I'll be back. That was the number 3 cookie. I think it's time we moved on to number 2, right? It's getting serious. I'm so scared. You Americans can probably only think of 2 cookies that could be number 2. Who's gonna win the race? We're gonna make Samoas. Not to be mistaken for samosas, which is something that I would very much like to have right now. Samosas I do love very much, but we're gonna make Samoas, and I think they're gonna be very great. However, it's kind of a caramel cookie, so we're gonna have to make caramel because you can't really properly buy caramel that you can just melt and then bake with in Germany. We're gonna start with the caramel because that's the scariest part about this recipe that you can skip if you can just buy caramel. You probably shouldn't follow what I do because I'm scared and I'm brave. Somewhere between two, beautifully strong. We had that last week. But if you want to, then here's what you need. A pot to which we're gonna add 90 grams of sugar. Gonna make it as flat as possible so that it doesn't take too long to make. Already putting that on low heat. This is 20 grams of butter, and this is 100 milliliters of heavy whipping cream. If you want to, you can add salt or maybe rum or so just for flavor, but we're going for a simple one, so no. We're just heating up the sugar now on low until it is golden brown. We're not gonna touch the sugar at all while it's heating up or doing its thing. At some point it's just gonna start melting and turning a brownish color, and the darker it gets, the bitterer the caramel would get in the end. Once we get to that color, we're just gonna add the butter and also the heavy cream and mix it essentially. Then we're gonna have to heat it up again. I'm so happy, guys, that my caramel was a success. I didn't think I'd see the day, but this is great. This is exactly what I was looking for, except for some sugar crystals in there that I'm just gonna ignore. It tastes really great, so we can take care of the cookie. It's kind of similar to the first cookies, so that's why I'm scared. Fingers crossed. Here's what you need. 200 grams of butter at room temp, half a cup of sugar, I think 80 grams, 2 tablespoons of milk, half a teaspoon of both salt and vanilla extract, quarter of a teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Seeing as though I'm the one filming this video, I'm the one editing this video, I'm the one narrating this video right now, I'm gonna make the executive decision that we're gonna skip this entire dough making process because essentially it was the same as the first dough, and it also turned out the same way after resting it, after it being cool as fuck and also solid as fuck. In a matter of seconds, it turned completely sticky and soft, and it was hard to cut out the shape. The only thing that was different was this time we made a donut shape instead of just a round circular circle. Anyway, in the end we got some out of there and we baked them. I swear to God, everything was so tidy. I was organized. The conditions could not have been better. How do I fuck up 2 cookie doughs? They essentially were the same cookie doughs. So something must be wrong with them. It can't be me. So the Samoas actually have a caramel coconut topping. Therefore, we're gonna start with the coconut because we've already made the caramel. We're gonna have to roast the coconut shreds. We're gonna need 300 grams, so I need 150. Looking at how much coconut I'm supposed to roast, I'm not sure I've made it out of caramel, but I also don't want to make more. Don't want to push my luck too much. Here's a little video of how I put my 150 grams of coconut onto a lined baking sheet. Now at 180 degrees Celsius, this goes into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Guys, 8 cookies. We've got 8 Samoas, or not yet, 8 cookies that we can turn into Samoas if they don't break apart or so. This is, wow. So, you know, Naomi wanted to try this one anyway. It's the darkest one that we've got 7. Technically, if you still have to melt the caramel, you're now gonna have to do a little double boiler action and mix 20 ounces of the store-bought caramel with 4 tablespoons of milk until it softens. I'm not gonna do that because my caramel is still spreadable. It's not that much. Half of my caramel I'm gonna mix with the coconut flakes that have gotten a little bit too dark. I love caramel so much today. The roasted coconut flakes don't even taste good. I'll happily add them anyway. I don't know, we're just gonna start with a little bit and then maybe keep adding more. More. I think I do want this to be quite thick, but I also don't know. Use the remaining caramel to spread a thin layer onto the cookies. You will want to move quickly though this step so the caramel does not cool. Use your hands and press the coconut mixture onto the caramel. Oh. You know what? I think we can skip the first step and just spread this because I used quite a lot, so we can just spread this on top. I feel like I've got the wrong type of caramel because my caramel is not gonna harden. Alright, now we're gonna have to melt chocolate. 12 ounces for the whole recipe, so yeah, I'm not gonna need as much. It's actually not looking too bad, so fingers crossed we can finish these ones off nicely at least. We're gonna dip just the bottom, and a little bit more as well because that's nice. And put them on wax paper, apparently. Now either put some chocolate into a piping bag. I think I am just going to try and find a way to drizzle it without having to use a piping bag. And that works. What can I say? The shit works and my self-worth at an all-time low. Drizzle, 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 drizzle. Yeah, now they look kind of okay. Now obviously they're gonna have to set, and I'm glad we've got something. Yay, to something. All right guys, we've got one more chance. I didn't know that I needed chances for this video and that it would be... Anyway, got a game plan for this last recipe and it's number 1. So this one has to be perfect. On paper, this is the least complicated recipe anyway. If this doesn't work out, then there's just something in the air and this video is just like a complete loss. So my game plan is not to cut the recipe in half and do the exact measurements. Maybe that's. The number 1 Girl Scout cookie is Thin Mints. Thin Mints. Thin Mints. That and anything peanut butter is just so American to me. If at all, then the Samoas would surprise me. It's essentially just a cocoa cookie covered in a pepperminty chocolate. We're just calm and collected, and calm and collectedly, I'm gonna tell you what you need. 1 cup of butter at room temperature. 1 cup of powdered sugar at room temperature. 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. For the chocolate peppermint coating, you're either gonna need 1 package of mint dark chocolate candy melts that we obviously don't have in Germany, or you need 1 pound of good quality semi-sweet chocolate chopped, and peppermint extract to taste. Yeah, so we're gonna have to cream the butter. This one, we're gonna start by just creaming the butter and then adding the sugar later. You know what? There's no baking powder. That's differente. Vanilla extract, salt, and cocoa powder. Don't worry, I'm gonna scrape down the sides eventually. Add the flour and mix only until the batter is no longer dusty looking but still a bit crumbly. So I feel like it's now. Still a bit dusty and crumbly. This one tastes so good though. Divide it in half onto more plastic wrap. Knead it a little bit. Let's flatten. I feel like this entire video was just karma for me saying that I have no interest in any sort of scout activity. Into the fridge for 15 minutes. We also do that with the second half. Why does this one only have to chill for 15 minutes? I don't trust this. Let's cut them cookies. So call me boring, call me cookie cutter.
Call me what you want, a matter of fact, just say it loud and don't stutter.
It says 1/8 of an inch thickness because they're called thin mints, so obviously they should be thin. And I'm just gonna cut them. This worked. Hallelujah. This is also quite thick here. I don't care. I don't care about it anymore. You have to be really quick with this dough as well. This dough is kind of not letting me down as much as the other ones, so no wonder that thin mints are the favorite. This one might be a little too thin. In comparison, comparisons are easily done if you're surprise center. That was another lyrics. Spending the night. Oh, I wish that I was looking to your... You know what? I'm gonna put this back into the fridge while I work on the second half. That's so smart, right? This I can work with. See guys, I can bake cookies. It was not me, it was the shitty ass dough. Okay, I'm done. I have enough. Bake the cookies for 10 minutes at 180 Celsius. I cannot believe we're gonna finish off our last batch of cookies. And who would have thought we're gonna have to cover them in chocolate? Just like all the other ones. But this time, you know, we're making thin mints. So far we've had no mint. Only thins, but maybe also not that thin. We're just gonna melt 1 pound of good quality semi-sweet chocolate chopped and add about 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract to it, or less if you want less, or more if you want more. It's been a day. Beautiful, right? Wow, this one is perfect. Listen, we've got 8 tagalongs. Considering how we got to this point, I think this counts as a success in hopes that they will also taste good, but it's cookie, peanut butter, and chocolate, so why wouldn't it? These come in at number 3. We'll see if they will also come in at number 3 for me. The sound of the chocolate. Naomi, you're gonna love them. I feel like we need a little bit of salt on top. These are fantastic. I don't think they're as hard to eat when you buy them. These are bomb. This is a 10 out of 10 cookie. I would definitely use my own sugar cookie recipe because this recipe sucks. But then they're amazing. Moving on. It's all about the Samoa now. You know, I feel like they could be smaller, but we're all big boys. This is especially fitting for the big appetite that I do not have right now. So these technically come in at number 2. Let's see how we feel about them. My caramel tastes amazing. These are really good. Why were these such a struggle to make, but they taste so good? These are bomb-ass cookies. I honestly can't say which one I prefer. Just fantastic. I did not think we would get to this place. With how much I struggled unnecessarily, it's a miracle, not gonna lie. Guys, look! They're perfect. I just don't want to take them off the sheet because I don't think they're fully set. Oh, actually, they're set. The number 1 most popular, it's definitely the most basic one out of the bunch. Also, in my podcast, I've heard that many people will freeze them and eat them like that. So maybe I will freeze some of them as well and then try them. For now, this is our Lord and Savior. Everything went well with this one. So if they don't taste good, then I don't know. Cheers. Well, that's very interesting. Oh, the textures are so nice somehow. With the sandy cookie and the flavor, I like them. They taste more minty now than when I tried the chocolate on its own, which is weird.
Good.
A clear winner.
Peanut butter number 1, coconut number 2, this one 10.
Oh. I might have to go Samoa's, Tagalongs. No, I don't know. I really like them all. I can't do this. I need to end this video because I just can't make a decision.
Just take my decision.
No, but that's wrong.
That's my opinion!
This is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. What's your ranking? I'm not sure I've ever struggled that much in a video. I thought this was gonna be such a cute little, nice, relaxing video because it was just gonna be me making cookies and then turned into disaster and everything. And then it all turned out great because everything tastes great. Anyway, I'm leaving. I don't know what Girl Scouts do, but I feel like it's something like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Entonces, nos vemos la próxima vez. Y bye!